A nightmare that feels too real, a sister with strange powers, and a teenage girl whose mistake could change everything. In a family torn between faith, fear, and silence, nothing will ever be the same. Blessing was deep in sleep when the nightmare struck. Just as he was about to stab her, she jolted awake, sweating, gasping, trembling. Without hesitation, she began to pray aloud, trying to cast away the lingering fear. But her younger sister Jane, irritated by the disruption, mumbled, "Can you stop making noise? It's just a dream," and turned back to sleep. But Blessing couldn't stop. She kept praying into the night. The next morning, Pastor Frank, their father, found the girls watching TV. Looking at Blessing, he asked, "Why were you praying so loudly last night?" Blessing explained she had a terrible dream. But Jane, moody and irritated, cut in. She complained that Blessing had been disturbing her sleep with all her praying at night, leaving her too tired and dizzy during the day, even in class. Pastor Frank sighed and told them they would talk about it when he returned from work. Later at school, Blessing sat quietly with her Bible. Her friends Tiwa and Caro approached with concern. They asked why she had been distant lately. Blessing shared her fear, that the dream felt spiritual and she was praying hard so it wouldn't come true. Tiwa tried to reassure her that it was just a dream. But if she truly felt it was spiritual, she should talk to her father. After all, he was a pastor. Meanwhile, Tiwa's mother, Beatrice, met with her brother Alex. He excitedly told her that he had found a woman he wanted to marry. Beatrice, curious, asked what the girl's background was. When Alex explained that the girl was the daughter of a retired head teacher and was just hustling to make a living, Beatrice was furious. She scolded him harshly, questioning how he could think of marrying into such a poor family. "You need a woman from a wealthy background who has a future," she snapped. "I've paid your bills long enough. I'm done." Back at home, Tiwa was watching TV when Beatrice informed her that she was leaving again on a business trip. Tiwa, frustrated, asked when they'd ever have time to sit down and talk. She pointed out how her father was a politician and was never around, and now her mother was also always traveling. Beatrice, unfazed, said the days of women sitting and waiting on men were over. She was a career woman, and she had to work hard to provide for Tiwa. To soften the blow, she handed Tiwa a brand new iPhone, assuring her they could stay in touch. At school the next day, Tiwa showed off the phone to her friends. "She's always buying me things to cover up being absent," she admitted. Blessing raised a concern, saying she was too young to have a phone, and it would be a distraction. Caro, however, dismissed Blessing's comment as old-fashioned preaching. While Tiwa and Caro took selfies for their TikTok pages, Blessing quietly walked away. Meanwhile, Jane was with her friend Laura, who admired her and said she wished she had a sister like Blessing. As a token of their friendship, she gave Jane some sweets. Later, Beatrice asked Alex how the PTA meeting went. He said the meeting was good and that the teacher insisted Beatrice herself needed to be more present. Beatrice was offended. "My role is to give money. That should be enough. I don't have time." That night, Blessing had another nightmare. But this time it wasn't a masked man. It was Jane, standing over her with a knife, ready to strike. She awoke in terror, again praying loudly. Jane, startled, asked what was wrong, but Blessing ran from the room in fear. That same night, Pastor Frank couldn't sleep. When his wife asked what was troubling him, he confessed he was worried about their daughters. "Blessing treats Jane with such resistance lately," he said. His wife agreed and promised to talk to them. The next morning, Blessing's mother entered her room and gently asked why she was treating Jane coldly. Blessing hesitated, then admitted, "Jane has been attacking me in my dreams." Her mother chuckled. "It's just a dream, Blessing. Jane is your little sister. She wouldn't hurt you." At school, the drama took a new turn. Khalid, the most handsome boy in school, approached Tiwa privately and confessed he liked Blessing. He asked if she could help him get close to her. Tiwa agreed to try, but when she told Blessing, she rejected the idea completely. "I'm not interested," she said. "I'm focusing on my studies. The Bible says there's a time for everything." Her friends were stunned. "Who rejects Khalid?" Caro whispered. Later, Khalid found Tiwa and complimented her TikTok videos. He flirted, saying he couldn't stop thinking about her. When he asked again about Blessing, Tiwa told him she wasn't interested. so he set his sights on Tiwa instead. At Tiwa's house, the maid watched Khalid suspiciously when he came to visit. After he left, she confronted Tiwa, warning her that she was too young to get involved in such relationships. Tiwa dismissed her, saying, "You're paid to clean the house, not to manage my life." The next day, Khalid invited Tiwa and her friends to a party. Carol was excited, but Blessing refused. Then out of nowhere, Beauty, another girl from school, confronted Tiwa, accusing her of stealing Khalid. A heated argument broke into a fight, landing them in the principal's office. Later, Tiwa questioned Khalid about the fight. "I don't love Beauty," he insisted. "She's throwing herself at me. You're the one I want." Alex tried to talk to Beatrice again, telling her that while she provided material things, Tiwa needed her emotional presence. Beatrice responded coldly, "She's a grown girl. She'll be fine." Meanwhile, Jane was in trouble at school. She was accused of pushing a fellow student down the stairs. She denied it, but witnesses said otherwise. At home, Pastor Frank was furious. "You're humiliating your sister," he shouted. That evening, Tiwa and Carol got ready for the party, dressing up and taking selfies. Tiwa returned home late, drunk, and passed out on the couch. During a family prayer night, Jane refused to participate. When her father insisted, she finally began to pray, but quickly dozed off. Pastor Frank finished the prayer for her. Khalid continued to pursue Blessing, but she had had enough. "Never speak to me about relationships again," she warned. Shortly after, Khalid told Tiwa their relationship was over. Tiwa was devastated. She thought he was the one. The maid comforted her. Later, Beatrice returned and finally apologized for not being present, but Tiwa ran off to throw up. Rumors spread. Khalid had been suspended from school. Blessing and Carol visited Tiwa. When Tiwa confessed she'd been feeling sick and they hadn't used protection, Blessing asked the unspoken question, "Are you pregnant?" Meanwhile, Jane's mother caught her watching TV while the kitchen was messy. She ordered Jane to clean the dishes. Jane walked into the kitchen, clapped her hands, and the dishes were clean in seconds. Her mother was stunned. Jane and Laura later discussed their powers. Laura said she used hers to light the gas, and Jane said she used hers to clean. Laura smiled. "You're ready. Your first assignment is coming." That night, Pastor Frank found Jane standing in the middle of the night. She looked possessed. He began to pray, calling his wife and Blessing to join. They prayed intensely until the spirit finally left her. Jane confessed, "Laura gave me the sweets. She said they'd make me smarter, like her." Pastor Frank warned her to stay away from Laura. "I'm talking to the principal." And then came the final blow. Tiwa's pregnancy test came back positive. Beatrice was livid. "You've humiliated us," she shouted, blaming the maid. But the maid calmly replied, "I tried to warn you, but you were always too busy." She added, "This isn't just Tiwa's failure. It's yours too." Tears welled in Beatrice's eyes. She turned to her daughter and whispered, "I'm so sorry."